looks like this right here in Austin. They're going to have a pipe on either side at different elevations, offset from each other. And they're going to have 3 of these instead of 1. I don't need more than 1 because I'm just demonstrating one time. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what size pipe. And every time I put a tape up here, it disappears. I'm going to kill it. Oh, I can't say that, can I? Okay.
As long as you don't do it, you can say it.
As long as I don't do it where somebody sees it. Okay. You can do exactly what I'm fixing to do right now in Austin. You take a measure tape, okay, and you walk up here and you measure from one wall to the center line. And that tells me that is 5 inches to the center of that pipe. I can measure from the bottom of this box or from the top of this box. And I'm going to measure from the top of it. And it tells me right here that to the center line from the top is 5 inches. Okay? 5 inches out and 5 inches down. I'm going to go to the other side of this box. And I'm going to measure 5 inches over and put a mark. And I'm going to measure 5 inches down and put a mark. Yes?
I always measure from the same wall you measured your first pipe from.
Again now?
I always measure from the same wall you measured your other pipe from.
Well, you would have to, right? You wouldn't get a right dimension.
Stupid question.
Okay. Let me clarify this. Stay on the same wall. Okay. Measure from that wall over 5 inches. Make a mark. Measure down from the top because I went from the top on that side. Down 5 inches. Make a mark. Take my tape and turn it sideways like that. And the reason I turn it sideways is because your pipe is only going to touch that tape in one certain area. Right? And where it touches, that is the direct center line of that pipe. So if I hold this over here on this side at 5 inches, and I pull this tape down until it stops, that tells me that's 19 inches. Okay? I take that 19 inches, and I multiply that by what? 1.414. Okay? That's my constant. So I'm going to take 19, and I multiply that by 1.414.
26.866.
That's exactly what I got. 26.866. Now 866 is what?
7/8. Close to 7/8.
I have a piece of pipe. I need a piece of pipe 26 7/8 of an inch. But I don't have threads to screw into, right? That's no hub pipe. That means I have to go to the face of that fitting. From the face of this fitting to the center line is 2 3/4 inches. Let me mark that down for you guys. It's 2.875 inches. Right?
From the edge to the center of the
From the end of the fitting to the center line. Your end of your fitting is your makeup on that, gentlemen. And I have 2 of those, right?
Well, plus.
Oh, that's plus. What are your times at?
You said 2 3/4?
2 3/4.
2.75 is,
It's 2 7/8. 2 7/8.
it's supposed to be 7.5.
No. 2 3. It's supposed to be 7.5, not no 8, right?
Yes, sir.
What'd y'all do that like that for? Okay.
That's the center line of that.
We're off. Can you start over?
Yeah, I can. Where do you want me to start at?
The 2 point. The
Those are
hub,
training.
the hub you were talking
On Tuesday.
From the face of this 45
Right,
to the center of this 45
right.
is 2 3/4 inches.
that change if it's a 3 inch?
Yes, it does. This is only 2 inch, that's all you're gonna deal with down there.
I think it's bigger now. And it's not 3 pipes. It's a, it was a box that was just stubbed over the top of the top part. It's that top pipe that you're going over, trying to go over the top of it.
What you have down there is 3 of these right here, mounted in that box. And they take that nipple and they move it around, okay? So that's 3 here and 3 over there that they have down there. But you only, you only have 1 pipe sticking out on each one side.
They change it up.
Yes, they do.
So it's not the same dimension every time.
Yeah, you just tell somebody that.
And that way the guy standing next to you over there, his number's gonna be different than yours. Okay? That's why they do that. All right. So from the face of this fitting to the center line is 2 3/4 inches, and you have 1 on each end of that. So you take 2 3/4 plus 2 3/4 is 5 1/2. That's what I got. What y'all get?
5.5.
Okay. 5.5. Okay. So you take 5 1/2 inches off of that 19 times 1.414, which was 26.866, and I take 5.5 off of that. Gives me what?
21.366.
That's exactly right. 21.366. Y'all understand that?
21.386.
Yes, sir.
So, since we're adding one more step to our formula up there.
Well,
Formula you have written up top.
No, we don't.
no, we gotta get a new number for the.
I'm not understanding what your question is.
Okay, sorry, this is separate.
Separate? Don't be confused. Tell me what's wrong.
Okay, so this is it the same formula?
All we're using is the 1.414.
It's just center to center is different.
Center to center times 1.414. That's the same, is it not?
Yeah.
That's what you have right up here, except for the subtraction part.
What's the best way to find that center to center on a different piece of pipe when we ran into like a 3 inches?
You gotta get a cut sheet.
Oh, what?
Okay.
You can look up the takeaway.
Y'all hold it a second. Okay, your question was, how do you find the center to centers measurements? Okay, if you're on the job, all right, you can measure off of a wall or anything of that nature. Or, y'all excuse me just a minute. Or, what if you're in a room?
That 2.75 you're getting for the 2 inch, what's the best way to do that?
Oh, he's.
Are you talking about what you're subtracting from it?
Yeah.
Okay, you will have a cut sheet for your fittings. Whatever manufactures your fittings for you, you have a book that you can get from them, and it shows you all of their fittings and all of their center line measurements and what you're going to have to take off of that. Okay, it'll show you from the face or it'll show you from the makeup. If it's a hub type, if it's a hubless type like this right here, it will be from the face to the center line.
So it gives you the measurement to the center line.
The cut sheet does.
Okay.
We're trying to figure that center. I was like, there's.
What do you mean you're trying to figure that center?
How'd you get 2 1/4? 2 3/4?
It's like, it's literally, that's more center to me.
Down there, center line.
Just with the different, as opposed to the center.
Here like this, and here like this, and where that cross line is right there, that's what you're
I think they'll, I'm confident they'll.
But the easiest way to do it is get the paperwork from the manufacturer.
They
Yeah.
supply that down there. Doing this.
They probably have that, yeah. Or they will tell you what that measure, what you You're not gonna be doing blind down there. Anybody else got a question? Any other questions? Hold on a second.
Measure from face to face. What the difference? Yeah, and that's what the center line is, you measure from makeup.
So do they ever make the sense to go all the way through and put the thing together? Hey, Johnny,
Anybody?
do they make us go all the way through and put the whole thing together, or do they just look at our work and go, you know what to do?
They probably just make you make that cut. But you're going to, you guys, listen, okay? You're going to have to put a piece of pipe and a fitting together with no hub bands. And they have a nut runner there, and they have a torque wrench there. And you want to make sure you grab the torque wrench and not that nut runner.
What's a nut runner?
That's a,
That's a nut driver? I know what a nut driver is. The torque wrench that clicks.
okay.
The 2.75 is at the center, you're taking two center, but that doesn't go all the way.
The thread's gonna go all the way to center. What
There is no threads.
The hub doesn't, I mean, the hub.
So you're just cutting the pipe.
Okay, well, now, I answered my question right here, I was thinking about it,
Yep.
I got it.
Okay. You do not have threads on cast iron pipe. It is going to be face to face. Okay? So you get your center line mark, and then you take off your dimension for your two fittings, and that is your cut. Okay? That is your cut. Now, out here, when you go to cut cast iron pipe, we're not going to have you to measure between two 45s and cut me that size pipe. I want you to cut me 2 inches off of that cast iron pipe. That's all. Okay? Don't waste my pipe. Okay? I want you to cut me a 2-inch piece off of that cast iron pipe, and I want you to cut it as straight as you can. For all of you who have never used chain cutters before, I will demonstrate. The best